Hey guys, this is Connor from Magload and welcome to this How to Magload instructional video. Today we're taking a look at the Magload 30-degree ambidextrous safety. So let's talk a little bit about some of the features of this safety. It of course has a 30-degree throw so that you can disengage it with minimal movement, which is of utmost importance in competition. Not only because it's fast, well really the time saving is minimal. The main thing that this helps with is making sure that your safety is off. With a 90-degree throw lever, or sometimes even a 45, although it's a lot less likely, you might not take the safety fully off. With this, it feels almost like a button. Click, and away you go. The safety comes with a long and a short right-hand lever. That's your ambidextrous part there, both of which are secured with this stainless steel bolt. And both of these push into the main body of the safety with a tapered fit. That means once it's in, it's solid even without the bolt, although you still want to use the bolt to fit it, and it won't work its way loose over time. The safety also features over travel compensation for the stock trigger. Now if you have an aftermarket trigger, we'll explain what to do with that at the end of the video. So let's get on to fitting this. You're going to need your gun. Now, before starting any work, of course, make sure your gun is clear. This gun has a breech flag fitted, so we know it's clear. This is, of course, the Magload rail mount breech flag, so we'll just clip it to the Picatinny rail out the way there. For the purposes of this demonstration, I am going to remove the upper receiver. You don't need to do this yourself. With the upper receiver removed, we can continue with the installation of this new safety lever. First thing you're going to need to do is to remove, or at least loosen off your grip. This will differ depending on the grip that you have, but for this particular grip, I require a 4mm Allen key. I'm going to remove the grip entirely for this, as that might be what you choose to do, and I'll show you what to do if lots of springs and things accidentally come out. Now, as I undo this, you're going to be able to see two springs here. Both of these springs have a pin at the top of them, and we need to make sure that those go back in when we reinstall our new safety. This spring here activates the detent for the rear push pin, and this spring here activates the detent for the safety control lever. Once you've undone the bolt, you can then pull the grip free. Having the gun this side up means that your springs don't get lost. Now, if you're lucky like me, the springs will stay roughly in place, but if your detents fall out, you will have two detents that look like this. The brass detent goes with the smaller spring, and that is the rear one for the rear push pin. Let's put those over there for now. And the larger spring is the one for your safety detent. It has a flat portion at its base. That is the portion that goes up against the spring, and the rounded or pointed section is the bit that goes up and presses on the safety. With a hammer cocked, the safety can just be pushed out from one side to the other. Out it comes. Put that somewhere safe, it's always good to have a spare. In order to install your new safety, it's very, very simple. Again, with the hammer cocked, just push it in from the side that the original safety lever was on. Next, you need to reinstall your detents. So the black plastic one goes up against the safety, and the brass one can go in either way into the rear push pin's hole. At this point, I would insert the spring for the rear push pin into its hole and the spring for the safety into the grip. Put your finger up inside the grip to hold the bolt in place and slide it all together. Once you feel the bolts start moving, it's time to do this up. Try not to let the grip fall off, as the springs will come out. Just going to start tightening this up, and the grip will start coming together. As you get close to this point, it's a great idea to take a pick and just make sure That rear spring is seated nicely so it doesn't get kinked as you finish tightening this up. The grip, like many parts on your rifle, does not need to be done up tightly. You are screwing into plastic. If you do it up too tightly, you're going to strip that thread. And really, that's it for the safety install. There it is. It all works. It's safe and it's in fire. In order to fit either of the extended levers for the right hand side of the gun, it's a simple affair. Just push it into place, pass the bolt through, and use a 2.5mm hex key to just do that up. This does not need to go on tightly, mainly because there is a tapered pin on the back of this lever. That will tighten itself up as you push it in, and on that note, it can be a little difficult to remove this lever once installed. This is a security feature. It's so that this does not come loose over time. Of course, here at Magload we give you warranties on all these products and we want to make sure they last. So if you wanted to remove this lever, you want to pull that bolt out, and then the way to unseat this taper is to give just a gentle rock like that and it will pop out. Likewise, if you wanted to fit the long lever, just pop that in place and tighten up your bolt. It does not need to be tight. As I mentioned earlier, the taper will hold it in place. If you have an aftermarket trigger, you'll need to tune the over travel stop on this safety to that trigger. It's a fairly simple affair, but you will need a file in order to do this. You have the large flat portion of the safety here and a smaller flat portion there. Take your file onto this flat portion here and just file away at that. Go a little bit at a time and check your progress as you go. You don't want to file too far through because you will weaken the safety. You can file right up to the bolt that goes through the centre of the safety with no ill effects. Fitting and test fitting the safety during this adjustment is really easy. The way the safety is made, you can pass it in through that side, up to the detent. Use your hex key to push the detent down and push the safety through. This will allow you to quickly test and check if your safety is working with your aftermarket trigger. If you have any questions on fitting your safety with your aftermarket trigger, please don't hesitate to get in contact with us at info@magload.co.uk. So thanks for watching this How to Magload instructional video. Shoot fast, don't miss, and I'll see you next time.